This video is going to cover Objective 5.3 practice tasks. The first step is to open the expense summary report in Layout View and do the following. So you're going to right-click on Expense Summary Report and go to Layout View. Change the report page orientation to Landscape. So you're going to go to the Page Setup tab and you're going to click on Landscape. Then it says apply the integral theme to only this report. So go to the Design tab, go to Themes, and you're looking for Integral, which is about the third one over in the Office group. Then it says Save and close the expense summary report. So I'm going to hit Control-S to save it, and then close out of this report. Open the Task Report in Design View and do the following. So I'm going to right-click on Tasks Report, and then go to Design View. This says Add a text box control. Add the date and time to the report's header. Use the formats DD, MMM, YY, and HHMMAM/PM. So I'm going to click on the header to make sure I'm selected on the header, and I'm going to go up to the Design tab. And then I'm going to go over to the Header Footer Tools group, and I'm going to click on Date and Time. And we're looking for the second date, the first time, and then I'm going to hit OK. And you'll see the date and time is now input into the report. Then add a text box control below the time spent field, and then create a calculated field that calculates the difference between the start date and the due date. So what we're going to do here then is move all this around kind of to be able to put this below time spent, because that's where you want the field that you're going to be putting in. And I'm actually going to go up to the text box control option then, click on text box, and then I'm drawing a text box out about here, because I'm going to be getting into this text box and creating this formula. And I'll fix this a little bit later, but to start this formula, we're going to go up to Property Sheet, and I'm selected on this here, so I'm going to go to Control Source. I'm going to right-click in here and go to Zoom, and this just makes it a little bit bigger, and I'm actually going to increase the font too, just so I can see the formula as I'm typing it out, because I don't want to misspell or do anything incorrectly. Equals, bracket, your fields will always go in brackets. It's actually going to be due date, bracket, minus, bracket, start date. Messing this all up. Sorry, I'm typing with one hand. Due date, start date, bracket, and space, and space, quote, space, days, unquote. And this is to add days at the end of the difference. And I added a space here so that it doesn't butt up against the number. So I'm going to hit OK. This is the formula that you need. You can always copy and paste it from the results file if you're having difficulty getting it correct. But this is it, pretty straightforward. I'm going to hit OK to be done with it. Then, reading the directions, it says use the concatenation operator, and I already did that, and to add the word days after the calculation. Change the field label to task duration. So I'm going to click here, and I'm going to type in, I'm actually going to type backspace this out and type in task duration, and then save and close the report. Before I do that, I'm just going to kind of move this around a little bit. I'll just click off of here, click back on. And you can use the arrows on your keyboard to move this around if you would like. You can also use the alignment up top option. And we can look and see report view, how this kind of looks. And that looks pretty good. Let's go back. And I kind of want this moved over just a little bit. So I'm going to, like I said, I'm going to go back into the other view, back into Design View, which is what I'm in now. And I'm just going to grab the sizing handle over here, the left sizing handle, and just move that over, so then that way it's kind of spaced out. Then if you go back in, the view looks a little bit better. So I'm going to click Close Print Preview. I'm going to save this, close out of the task report, and then the next step is going to be open the Tasks by Priority report in Layout View. So I'm going to right click Tasks by Priority and go to Layout View, and then set up a 3-column report and set up the column width to 6 inches. This says 6 inches, but the results file has 3 inches, and I'm going to use 3 inches because the 6 inches doesn't work. So to do this, what we're going to do is we're going to go to the Page Setup tab and go into Columns. Number of columns is going to be 3. The width is going to be 3, even though it says in the book to use 6, I'm using 3. And arrange the fields to go down, then across. That is what's already selected. And then we're going to apply bold formatting to 3 controls. So let's hit OK here. And we're looking for 3 controls, which is going to be, and you can look at this, I'm going to go back to the Home tab and you can look at this in a print preview. So now it's in 3 columns, and this is kind of getting cut off over here. So let's go into Layout View, which is what we're in. Let's try Design View. And what we're going to do is bold this task name, due date, and then priority. So I'm going to click on task name, hit Control B, click on due date, hit Control B, then click on priority and hit Control B, as in boy, for bold for all 3 of those. Then we're going to select the status control, apply bold, italic, and underline formatting, and set the font color to red. So I'm going to click status, bold, Control B, Control I for italics. And actually it looked like I took it off, so I'm going to put it back on. It does need to be italic. So bold, italic, underline is Control U. You'll also see it's probably changing over here because some of these options are available over here on the right. I think I just saw underline here. I can change it and say yes, I want underlined, italic, yes, and bold. And then you can also change the color over here as well. But I'm not going to try to look for it. So I'm going to go to the Home tab and go into Font Color, and then I'm just looking for red. So I'm just going to use the standard colors red right here. Then it says select the calculated field in the page header and set the special effect property to shadowed. So I'm going to calculated field in the header. So this is your calculated field that is there, and we're going to go over to the side here, and we are looking for special effect, and we are looking for shadowed. Then it says display the report in print preview, and then save and close the report. So I'm going to hit view and go to print preview, and then still a lot of the different labels are coming up a little cut off, and this is cut off a bit over here. So I'm going to try to do a little bit of sizing, see what we can get out of this. So I'm going to hit close print preview, and I'm still in the design view. So let me look and see again what was cut off. In progress and high. Whoops. So I'm back into design view again, and I'm just going to grab the status and drag it down a little bit. I'm also going to hit the down arrow just a little bit, and then click on the priority, drag that down just a little, and even due date a little bit. Maybe move that up and drag it down. Again, using your arrow keys on the keyboard is kind of nice, and see, that's a little bit better. And that way it's not being cut off. And this is only being cut off over here because of the width of the columns. We used 3 inches, so it's cutting it off at 3 inches. If we take it down, and you guys can leave it at 3 inches, but if we take it down to, let's try 2.5, then it shows up a little bit more. but I'll take it down. Let's see if I take it down to 2. And then if I take it down to 2, I have a full view of what it is. And I was looking at the task by priority and the results file. Oh, and that is actually in landscape, which is an option that we were not told to do. So I'm going to close this out. Let's go back to columns. I'll put these back at 3 inches, and then I'm going to change this to landscape. Then that's a little bit better, and that shows you all the information that you need. If you guys want to go ahead, put it in 3 inches and do landscape, then that will get you the completed project for Objective 5.3 practice tasks.